Welcome viewers to another episode of Wealth Wednesday. I really hope you enjoyed the first part about the topic on children and money. I hope you learned something. Please tell us about what you learned in the comment section. And today we are continuing with that conversation, and we want to learn more about the 7 strategies that we can have around children and finances.
All right, so we've done the 3. The 4th one is, can you help them? We help. Now they have made the money they have saved.
Yes.
Okay. They have learned how to make a bit of money from wherever they're making money from. If they're not making it, maybe you're giving them some commission on a monthly basis or on a regular basis. You're able to communicate to them and tell them this is how you can be able to make this money. And now the question is, how do you spend it? How do you spend it? Or how is money spent? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this is the basics where we begin talking about budgeting.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
You have saved your 1,000 shillings or 2,000 shillings. In fact, there is someone who says it is at this point, there's a point you raised earlier, where you teach children what you call opportunity costs. Now, that's a big word from economic side. Let me break it down.
Please break it down.
This is the simplest way of breaking it down. You can either have this one or this one, but not both.
Yes.
That is called opportunity cost. Okay?
Yeah.
So if you want to have, to buy, let's say,
Kinder Joy.
What is that?
Kinder Joy.
Kinder Joy.
Ask parents with young
Now
children.
me,
I'm
you
telling
must
you,
explain what that means.
when you go to the supermarket, there's that aisle right when you're paying.
Wait, okay,
Yes,
okay,
those
okay.
things that are put there, you cannot live without that Kinder Joy.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Fantastic example.
Yeah.
Here we are. Now, you want to buy Kinder Joy.
Yes.
Or which other thing did you want? This one. So,
A toy.
how much money have you saved?
Yes.
So, how much can you spend? So much. So, what do you take first? Because you can't take everything at the same time.
Yeah.
You must take, there's something called opportunity cost. What can
Yes.
I get for now?
Yes.
What can I wait for later? Again, going back to being able to prioritize. Prioritize is like a delayed gratification. I wanted
Yes.
Kinder Joy, you said. I wanted also this Cadbury chocolate
Yes.
and this one, but the only money I have is just enough
Yeah.
for Kinder Joy.
Yeah.
But I want Cadbury. I said, yeah, then you must save more.
There was a time I was in the supermarket, and there was a gentleman in front of me with 2 young children, and I really loved how he handled that situation, because they were crying for those chocolates, yeah. And he told them, he had a conversation with them. He stopped and he had a conversation with the 2 children, and he told them, you know, you can either have this chocolate now,
Yes.
or we can go out for lunch and all of us can have ice cream later.
Yes.
And funny enough, the children responded. You know, they thought about it for a minute and they were like, no, let's go out for lunch and have ice cream, because they know going out for lunch, there'll also be bouncing castles, maybe swimming, maybe, you know, there'll be other activities on top of that. So it's conversations, you know, and sometimes we assume our children don't understand.
Correct. They had already done an opportunity cost.
Exactly.
They said, forget this.
Yeah.
That one is better.
Yes.
That's an opportunity cost.
Yes.
Yeah, correct.
So those are the simple ways that you can do that. And now, what if your kids are teenagers? What if you didn't get the opportunity to start with them from the foundation years?
Well, it becomes a bit more difficult.
Yeah.
It becomes a bit harder, because even if you look at the growth patterns and the way the person develops, habits are formed early in life. If they're not formed early in life, then it becomes more difficult to form them later in life. There are certain fundamentals, not all habits. There are many habits that all of us keep on picking up, you know, even as we grow old. Good habits, we have to stop certain habits and start others. But if that hasn't started earlier, then it becomes a bit difficult, but not impossible to do it.
Yes.
It's the same thing. I mean, suppose you realize there are people we talk to about personal finance and they say, Monyoncho, so where have you been all these years? I'm now 55. Where were you when I was, you got age?
Younger,
and now this is the time you're telling us. I always tell them this is the best time. And this is the time that you're supposed to have had Not that time, because even if you had, probably nothing may have happened.
Yeah.
So we're saying it's not impossible, but it's a bit an
more
uphill
difficult,
task.
yeah.
Yeah, because there's a time when children just want to be around their parents. They just want to learn. They're just absorbing. You know, it is at that point you want to take advantage.
Yeah.
But when they become teenagers and they say, you know what, now I'm
They want their own
grown up.
space.
They want their own space. They want to do their own things. It becomes a bit hard, but not impossible.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
So so in helping them to make the smart decisions on spending, we're saying then you help them to learn how to do budgets, because budgets then give you
A structure.
a structure on how you want to spend your money. So it can be very basic, very basic. That me, yes, I have my money, so I want to be eating out once with my friends. The one I have said, yes, once in my friends. You can budget even your own airtime because you're making your own money. And you can even budget and say, you know what, even for me, my personal ice cream, you do. Just help them.
Yes.
That is how you do it.
Yeah.
And even in doing the budget, because doing budget also helps you to save in another way.
Yes.
Because if you know that there are 3 restaurants selling ice cream, one, and there's a 50 shillings difference between the 3 of them. I mean, 50 shillings difference, 50 shillings per week if you're taking ice cream per week. But by the end of the month, you have saved 200, which you can do something with at the end of the day.
Yes.
That becomes your responsibility as the parents to take them through that budgeting.
Yeah.
Now, again, if we go back to the preamble, if you've never done budgeting for yourself as a parent,
then how do you teach your children?
Probably you start now. This is the time, if you're interested in teaching your children,
Yes.
I think you start doing it yourself now. In fact, even if you take this year alone and say, this year, I want to do these things that you're telling me for my children first.
Yeah.
I need to be sure that I know where my money, where it's coming from. I have done a budget and I'm living within my budget.
Yes.
It may be better for you to start now so that next year you can say, now I can teach my children also how to do it. And if they ask me questions, I will have answers because I've been doing it.
Yeah.
I've done budgeting. There are times when money is not enough. What do you do when money is not enough, Dad? Mom, so what happens? I want this, but I can't get it. What do you do?
Yes.
You'll be at least assured that you'll have an answer for that child. All right?
Yes.
So number 4, you help them to make those spending decisions.
Yeah.
Spending decisions. The 5th one is show them the value of giving. It is not about receiving all the time, all the time.
Yeah.
There is power in giving, whether they are Christians or not. In any case, people who give tend to be more happier, all right, and more, what do you call it, contented than people who are always saying, it's me, give me, give me, give me, give me. All right? So it's very important to tell them that in giving does not only affect the people you share your money with, but also you who gives. There is a portion that also brings a difference in you.
In kindergarten, they are told sharing is caring.
Very good. Fantastic. In fact, that's a great statement. Sharing is caring.
Yes.
So part of their monies, tell them that you have a budget for spending.
Yeah.
You have a budget for saving, or you have some money for saving. Then you must have some money that you can give away. You can give either to church or give to a friend who you know is in need, or a friend of yours who you know that the parents you know are not very well off.
Yes.
Or somebody else. Just learn the importance.
Or even just
giving.
buy presents for your friends during their birthdays.
Correct.
That's part of giving.
That's part of giving.
Yeah.
Don't just say that I have nothing.
Yes.
Never say you don't have anything. So long as you have. I think I remember my children. Even during some of my birthdays that I used to have, my daughters who would have nothing, they would actually draw pictures of me.
And that's giving.
And that's giving.
Yeah.
It's giving their hearts. It's giving their thoughts. It's giving
They're pouring
their
their
minds.
soul into that picture.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
It is giving. You know, if they can give just by doing that, how much more teaching them that when money comes, it's not for hoarding, but when money comes, it's for sharing.
Yeah.
And when you teach them that, that becomes a very powerful discipline. Many billionaires we have today, they are very good givers.
Yes.
You saw
Philanthropists.
Bill Gates came here the other day. He's telling you, no problem, we'll give you $100 billion. From where?
Yeah.
But he's always given all his life. The more you give, the more you attract. And that is an important lesson. Never feel by giving you'll have less.
Yes.
No. By giving, actually, you increase what you actually open space for more. From our scriptural perspective, we say that if your pot is full, even if anybody gives you more, where will you put it?
You have to make room.
You must make room. How do you make room? You must remove it.
Yes.
That is how life is.
True.
So if you have to receive more,
Yeah.
you must be able to give. All right?
Yes.
The sixth one is teach them how money can grow. You talked about interest.
Yes.
This is the place now. Show them how money can grow.
Yeah.
Where can I place my money so that it can grow?
I can get more.
I can get more.
Yeah.
Because money is meant to make more money. It is meant, but I'm not sure that's what we make it do. We just use it, we spend it. We just
So it's supposed to work for you.
Money should work for you. In fact, we have a saying, me and a friend of mine, we say that you should make, when you are alive and well, make money, work hard to make money, so that money will work hard for you later in life. That is the intention. So show them that it is possible for your money to work smart. You don't have to, to continuously always be the one working, but your money can work for you.
Yes.
So this is the place where you talk about interest, where you talk about interest rates. Can I put my money in a business? What return do I get? Do I put my money in shares?
Yeah.
I remember when my daughter was, I think, 11 or 12, must have been 10th birthday, when I started buying her shares for her.
Yes.
For Serena. I used to tell her, when you get 18, 19, you'll have enough shares you can even go to Serena and say, I'm a shareholder of Serena.
Okay.
Yeah, because the money that you have invested has made money into the future. All right? So if you can't get them to open a bank account, by the time you're a teenage, you can open an account for them. Because at least today, I think accounts are open, especially for students.
Yes.
You can open an account for them where you can be putting your money or their money in. And you can now start talking about interest rates.
Yeah.
Talk to them. You can explain very easily in terms of compound interest.
Compound interest and how it works.
What is it and how it works. Okay. So what has happened now? You are starting to give them their own responsibility to manage the money.
Yes.
You see, we've come through the savings part. We've come through earnings.
Yes.
We've come through, which is the other part, where money comes from, how to save it, all right, how you can spend it. Now we are at a place where money can make money for you.
How can it grow?
What that means is that you then help them move from consumption. All right? We've been talking about saving to spend.
Yes.
Whatever they want. We talked about opportunity cost, what they can put their money in. We've moved over to, instead of spending, you can now save it.
Yes.
All right? You can postpone your desires, your demands for later, to a point where you're telling them it's no longer just about spending, no longer about saving. It's now about making it more, helping your money make more money for you.
So now we are making them investors.
Now they become investors. Right?
Yes.
That is the level they get to. Because they have understood what money is.
Yeah.
They know where it comes from. They know how the power of procrastination.
Yes.
They have the discipline of saving. Now they can become investors. Now this is where the good part is, because once you can see how your money is coming, my friend,
there's no stopping from
there's
this
no
point.
stopping. Because if you are able to bring your children to reach a point where they're saying, you mean I can make so much money? Yes. You can imagine if you have a teenager who, let's just for example's sake, they have their 20,000 shillings. They have saved 20,000 shillings over the period, assuming they began at 7 years, age 7.
Yeah.
And they've been working. Dad has been supporting, adding whenever they save he adds, and you've got 20,000 by the time you're 15 years.
Yeah.
20,000 in another 15 years can easily be in the hundreds of thousands. Easily.
Yes.
In the hundreds of thousands.
Yes. Yes.
I'm told that one of the richest men, Warren Buffett, one of my favorite, he said the most of his billions, actually half of his billions, he made when he was past 65 years old.
Okay.
Why? Because he has been investing all this time. But then what happened? All the money he has been investing all his life. When they hit compounded interest, by the time he hit 65,
yes,
more than half of what he earned was because of compounding interest, and because it was making money as he moved on.
yes,
Yeah. And that is now the spirit we want to be able to inculcate in our children. But going back to where we started, you must have a why.
Yeah.
I think our why must be very clear. Our why must be very clear. It's not the amount of money I make, as somebody said, it's what I do with it that makes the difference. Okay? If I know that in my life all I need is 200,000 a month, if that's my maximum, that's my what I want, that's what I can do, do you know you are a much better person than somebody who doesn't know what he wants, and they are busy chasing more and more and more money, and yet it doesn't bring happiness, because money on its own never brings happiness.
It's like a cat chasing its tail.
Yes. It's never enough. It's never enough. There's something called, there's a book I've been reading called The Psychology of Money, which talks about the secret of, the disease of enough. Because people don't know how much is enough. How enough is enough? How much is enough? They don't know.
Our president said it, enough is enough, you know.
Now, that is a very, can I call it a very philosophical statement?
Yeah, you need to really think
because you have
deep
to break
into
it.
Yeah?
You have to break it and say, what do you mean by enough?
Yeah.
You know? But what I'm saying is that once you know the why, it is very easy to be able to do what you need to do.
Yes.
Why do I need to invest? It's just to help them to know that life is just more than receiving.
Yes.
Because many of us, I think especially in Kenya here, all we are looking for, I think, and I dare say, is a retirement package. All this corruption we see is people thinking, how will I be protected when I retire?
Yeah.
What kind of lifestyle will I live when I retire?
Yes.
So the best thing to do is to steal now in preparation for my retirement.
Yes.
But you know, if we were able to be guaranteed of our protection in terms of our future today, we would behave differently. We would be open-hearted. We would help people because my retirement is guaranteed.
Yeah.
All right? It's guaranteed, and therefore, I will be able to give my 100% to where I'm working. But people are living beyond their means. Living beyond their means while trying to, many reasons, please many people. But
people don't care.
People don't care about you, and you're still wanting to please them, you know. But if you're able to understand that, for me, my why is this. I want when in retirement, my investment to help me. I want that as my children grow up, they have a good asset base that can also help them to be more influential.
Yes.
Do you know it's people who have money who make laws in countries?
True.
If we want to influence our country, then our children must be able to have money to do that. To influence, not because they want more money, but because when they stand up and they talk, people listen.
People will listen.
People listen.
Yeah.
You can have a poor wise man, but nobody listens to you. But you need to have somebody who has a bit of money. When you stand up, they say, yes, he has spoken.
Yeah.
We need to do it.
Yeah.
All right?
Yes.
So the sixth strategy was you need to teach them how money grows. How money grows. And the longer they're able to wait in its investments, the more money they can be able to make.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
And the last one, maybe if you have any questions then. Now, this is the last and the hardest.
Yes.
The last and the hardest, and is what we are talking from the very beginning,
Yes.
is you must be the model of a good financial manager. So this is the last, but then I can put it as the first one.
The last shall be the first.
That's correct. It ideally is the first one, because if you don't have any financial practice, you've not done any saving yourself, you don't understand how money works, then what that simply means is that you may not be a very good model for your children. So that is very important for you. Just be you are able to comply on your budgeting. You are able to be very consistent on it, so that by the time you are telling your children, you never tell your children money never grows on trees, because you never speak such words when you're talking to children. You know, that's what we always said.
Yes,
you think money is found everywhere. There is no money. Can you see it? It doesn't grow on trees.
It doesn't grow on
Others
trees.
have gone some and harvested it. No. You need to reach a point where you say, what I earn, and that's my mantra for anybody, what you earn is enough.
Yes.
Is enough.
Live within your means.
Live within your means. Is that possible? Yes, it is possible. It just means there are many things you may not be able to do that you want to do.
Yes.
But if you are able to live within your means, and your children also, you explain to them, say your dad earns only 20,000. And with 20,000, this is what we can do.
Yeah.
When God helps us to go to 30,000, we can be able to do this. But how do we get to 30,000? You can also explain.
Yes.
Because when you get a promotion in your office or when you get a transfer on promotion, children should know why. They just don't hear your dad as just, we see him nowadays, he comes late. Maybe he's got a bigger job. He's always coming late, but they don't know why he's coming late. And how does that translate to helping them? Because if dad is coming a bit late, they'll say, yeah, I know why dad is coming late, because he's got a slightly different job. And when he makes a bit more money, we all end up getting benefit. Yes. We all end up benefiting because of 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So that financial modeling is very important from the parent standpoint.
Okay.
Those are my 7 strategies. After reading all your questions, I said this should be able to cover, ideally,
most of them.
Yeah, most of the questions you asked. Yeah. But if you have anything else, or if anybody else has any other question, we'll be more than happy to respond.
So just before we wrap up, I also want us to talk about credit.
Yes.
How do we navigate the conversation around credit? How can we teach children the pros and cons of credit?
I know nowadays we have introduced what we call not credit cards, they're debit cards for our children in schools.
Yes.
Just to help send money to them.
Yes, I've seen some schools are introducing that. Yeah.
The issues of credit should be discussed under the place of making what you call the decisions that are correct. Remember, we talked about them asking, so where do we, how do I spend?
How do I spend? Yes.
At the point of making budget, you may find that you're always having either less than you have.
Yeah.
And if you have less money than you want to spend, it means you have to borrow. All right? And that's where credit comes in.
Yes.
That I have to borrow to be able to do what I want to do.
Yes.
That is the point you need to actually tighten the ball. Tell them it is possible to borrow.
Yes.
But
the why
and the cost. All right? The cost of that borrowing may not be worth it.
Yeah.
Why don't you wait a bit longer, save a bit longer, and then you can be able to have that money.
Yeah.
And you can even let them know that when you borrow, it is because you are assured that you have the money to pay.
Yeah.
Now, in financial terms, we call it cash flow.
Yes.
Cash flow. Cash is coming in. I can be able to pay what I have managed to borrow. It is at the same point where you should teach your children, you should never borrow money to buy sweets. Because they can come and tell you, Daddy, don't worry, Daddy, you're paying me next week my 70 shillings.
Yes.
Can I borrow 50 from the 70 that you're giving me next week?
No.
Tell them, no. Wait until it is earned.
Yes.
When you earn it, is when you can spend it. My wife is a very good saver. She never spends money. Saves. Until only important and vital things.
Yes.
And I think that came from the father, all right, and the parents. How they taught them that you must live within your means, don't spend beyond what you must, only what is necessary.
Yes.
And that is the habit we can inculcate in our children. Avoid, parents, I know you love your children, but avoid giving them your credit card. Who is spending the money? Your child. Who's paying for it?
You.
It's you. But so what lesson are you teaching your children?
Yeah, that there's free money out there.
That there's free money out there? No, you can't borrow and then make me pay.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't happen like that. All right? You make your own money. Spend your own money. And let's talk about it.
Yes.
Let them have experiences. There's one financial guru who says that use experience as your teacher, not as your undertaker. All right? So whatever.
Please break that down. Please break that down. I feel like it's very important.
You see, experiences should be able to teach us how to behave better.
Yes.
But when failure, did I say use failure? Use failure as an experience and not as an undertaker.
Yes.
Because when you try something and you fail, you can get into a depression. And say, now I tried, I have failed. And I don't want to try again. You have allowed failure to be your undertaker, to bury you.
Yeah.
Those undertakers, their job is to bury people.
Yeah.
That's what I was told. That's what
Yeah.
undertakers do.
Yes.
Failure cannot be an undertaker. Use failure as a teacher. Tell you, oh, so I did this and I failed. I have learned. I will not do this. Who discovered the light bulb? It's one of those scientists. Do you know he had done, I think, 99 experiments and all of them failed?
That was for the light bulb?
Yeah, the light bulb.
Yes.
The last one worked.
Yes.
And he said, wow, I have not failed. I have just found 99 ways in which it cannot work.
It cannot work, yes.
So all of us learn so that we don't have anything, that we don't fail because of what I have done. So that's why I'm saying that we can try first time you fail, second time you fail, third time you fail. Learn what you should not do.
Okay.
And as a parent, you love your children, I know. But love sometimes must be tough. You don't have to allow them to spend money even you yourself have not made.
Yeah.
You don't have the money, but you're telling them, spend, don't worry, I will pay tomorrow. Where will you get the money from? That's a bad practice.
True.
So that one we should avoid. Talk to them about good use of credit cards and bad use of credit cards, because I use credit cards, but I attempt to ensure that I don't, what do you call them? I pay what is required to be paid. Otherwise, what happens, you end up paying a lot
of
more,
interest.
a lot more interest on the money that you borrow. Yeah.
And I think that's a different topic that we'll have another time. You know, for the people who want to access credit cards, how can you use them in a wise way?
Yes, you can do that, no problem.
There you have it. We have talked about the 7 strategies in which you can use to teach your children how to be better money managers. Thank you so much for viewing. Thank you so much for joining us. So remember to like, share, subscribe, and we want to hear from you. Engage with us in the comment section. Go to our social media pages. We are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Talk to us. Tell us what you think. We want to hear from you. Till next time. Goodbye.